Okay, friends, welcome to episode number 14. Episode number week number 14 of 26 episodes we have, you can say, desire to do in for Thunder Thursdays. Today is Thursday, 7th April, and we are on time. So, all my presentations always will begin with thanking the Lord Almighty, who's given me much more than what I deserve. And when it comes to finance, I have to thank my dad as well, who has been instrumental in teaching me the clinical part of finance. So today's topic is a very vital one, I would say. So this is my brief CV. You all are aware of it by now. Let's begin without much ado. So today's topic is equity mutual funds or direct equity investing. Which of the one options we should choose? And the second part associated with it is DIY in either of the above. Is it costly or is it cheaper? DIY means do it yourself approach in equity or direct equity investing. What exactly is direct equity investing? I'll be sharing with you surely. So let's begin the session without much delay. So direct equity versus mutual funds or indirect equity, you can say the vital question, which is more important or which we should go in for, considering as healthcare professionals whatever time we have. So I'll start with a quote given by Mr. Cook, an American businessman long time back. His quote is, mutual funds were created to make investing easy so consumers wouldn't have to be burdened with picking individual stocks. So this is the endeavor behind it, that mutual funds actually help everyone to invest in them in that regard, that they are comparatively, you can say, diversifying everything. But when it comes to stocks, sometimes individual portfolios can be very heavy, and then it can create a problem. So direct equity or indirect equity. Direct equity is the stock market or the common stocks of companies, penny stocks, lesser known stocks, big known stocks, mid cap stocks, whatever. Indirect equity includes equity linked mutual funds, ELSS, ULIP, exchange traded funds, ETFs, and all those things. So these include this only. So we all know that lockdown actually provided a lot of free time to many. We had such an environment that people started dabbling in stocks. The markets nosedived, and there was, you can say, almost close to 40% correction, 40 to 50% correction of the peak at that time. Markets had touched 50 in Jan 2020, and they just bounced to close to 26,000. I'm talking of the BSE, roughly around about. So 40 to 45% correction was there, but then that started the recovery part as unlock happened in many parts of the country and in the world, of course. People, you can say, had a renewed interest in equity or stock markets, and they were at home with food, entertainment, travel, everything at their fingertips. Nothing to go, no liabilities as such, just work, play, and you can say surf in free times. OTT also came up big time, and it came up so much big time that even the movies now, when they release, they suffer sometimes, barring an exceptional Kashmir Files and RRR. But otherwise, the movies are also suffering. Nobody wants to go. The OTT platform industry has grown so big in the past 2 years. So people saw their disposable income increase because there were the wants were cut down a lot. So there are a lot of money coming in. Of course, for people who had layoffs and their salary cuts, there was a different scenario. But for general people who were on fixed job, they had a lot of surplus income at that time. And then the stock market started recovering. And in the next 9 months, from March to December 2020, or rather, I would say April end to December 2020, in 8 months, they recovered almost everything, and rather they started touching the new highs. By August, the recovery had been close to 50%, and the remaining was in the next 3 or 4 months. By December 2020, the stock market had already wiped off all the losses in April, and then began the resurgence from January 2021 to July 2021. There was a lot of market rush. There was a lot of raise in the levels. There was, you can say, new peaks being touched by the stock market. And that is when the retail stock trading also witnessed a lot of boom. Something like a Reliance had come down to 7 to 800 and it touched about 2800. So what was the reason of that? Surplus income, more time, more disposable. The problem was the trading apps. Everyone has an app and it is easy to download. A simple video based KYC process online. Of course, COVID helped a lot on that because there was no physical gatherings happening. Then there are a lot of self-acclaimed social media influencers. A lot of YouTube channels came into being. Everybody was giving some advice. So then the chat groups also on various, you can say, various social media and news channels. Everyone was giving a lot of advice, and not giving advice. They were giving a lot of freaky advice. So it just seemed like a scenario where everybody could make a quick buck and quick gains very short. It began to feel like a get rich quick scheme for everyone, and that is where the situation turned. Trust me, as per NSDL sources, this is not my data, it is the NSDL data. 1.4 crore demat accounts were opened in 2021 in the first lockdown to almost the end starting of second lockdown. From April 2020 to March 2021, 1.4 crore demat accounts, and in the next financial even more. So what was the strategy? Equities surely have the potential for long-term growth. It is a asset class which has not been explored well. It is a wealth creation class. But should we, as dentists, as healthcare professionals, doctors, should we invest directly? Let me give you a few, you can say, scattering differences. Number one, mutual funds. Of course, equity mutual funds, they are lesser risky because of diversification. Individual stocks, they are risky. You need sometimes professional fund manager in equity. Equity mutual funds. In stocks, you need a lot of research and time to go through the company's cash flow, balance sheet, and all those things to check and then invest. Mutual funds are an affordable investment. Stocks which are giving returns can be an expensive investment. Funds can be invested directly from the fund house website. You don't need anything except for one KYC with any one mutual fund, and you can invest in everything via CAN, via CAMS, via there are so many options available online. For stocks, you first need a demat account. Then there are almost nil transaction costs in equity mutual funds. There is a good amount of costing which happens in individual stocks. Then there is no control on picking and holding of stocks. There are fund managers who are allocating it. They make switches frequently, and you can be benefited out of that. But then on stocks, you have to have control of yours. So mutual funds are a comparatively a friendlier alternative to invest in equity. Everything comes with a risk. Nothing comes risk free. But why are stocks more popular, especially in the past 2 years? Do they give more income? Yes, maybe. But even the downfall is great. Is it a get rich quick scheme? Yes, it appeared to people. ऐसे नीचे गया और ऐसे ऊपर गया. It appears to them. Is it more convenient? Yes, I would say yes, a lot convenient. Because it is the ease that has encouraged people to invest in stocks. And one app makes trading easier. People believe that just clicking on the app and you can say following someone randomly, you can go ahead and invest. And that is where the problem comes. Investing in stock will require deep knowledge and understanding. And of course, your time. Markets function from 9 to 3:30. That is your peak clinic time also. If you're working in a job, that is your job time also. You can't have two brains working at the same time. And it is not a one-day process that you can take a leave. It is a 5-day process from Monday to Friday. How many times actually you can devote time? Then people who thought apps were easy, then the next step was F&O, future and options. More disastrous, more dangerous for people with zero knowledge. And so many of my group members burnt their hands big time. Because for investing in stocks, you require a research, a thorough one, and a deep analysis. And for that, you need time and effort. Dentistry upgrade करने के लिए हमारे पास time नहीं है. Dentistry की knowledge upgrade करने के लिए time नहीं है. Why do we expect that we can invest in that? It is just on hearsay. मैंने उस पे पैसे लगाए, तू भी लगा दे. उसके डूबे तेरे भी डूबे. Remember that. It's not. ये market सबका है boss, grow करो. Ads बहुत आती हैं आजकल. So you need to have a update on micro and macroeconomic factors. Something like a Ukraine-Russia war happened all of a sudden. Of course, the tension was brewing up, but nobody thought it will turn into a war. Whatever happened in Europe, we are facing the brunt. The global shift in oil prices and the inflation accompanying. Imagine the oil prices, you can say in India only, 80 paisa karte karte. They have risen close to 12 rupees or 13 rupees in the past 15 days or so. So we need to take into account those factors also. It takes years to develop the foresight. It is not an overnight thing. But then mutual funds are comparatively straightforward. You have to just think about a few things, asset allocation, that how much is your risk appetite, kitna equity mein, kitna debt mein dalna, and then accordingly you can pick your suitable mutual fund schemes. Yes, it also does require knowledge. I'm not saying it comes with a knowledge proof bullet, but it does require time, but comparatively much lesser time than having knowledge in stocks. So mutual fund is the in thing for today. That is what my aim for today's session is. You can become skilled and you can say experienced to understand all the instruments at the same time, all in a short time period. But if not, if you don't want to understand, you can always delegate it to a professional. Plus, it is a lot less emotional and stressful. Tension nahi hoti hai. We've seen in the past 25 years, Nifty has moved from 1100 points to 15, 16,000. The best of Nifty has been 18,600. So technically, dekha jaye CAGR compounded annual growth rate is 12.8% comparatively per year, which is not a very good one. But then the growth has not been a linear one. There were many ups and downs. So it makes difficult for every one of us who is a retail investor. We are not institutional investors, to calculate the best time to buy and sell. Many times we make emotion based. Koi baat nahi, kar de, dekhi jayegi. Dekhi jayegi is not the right approach to delve or you can say dip or dance into the markets. It is basically irrational decision. And some of us are not having good risk appetite. They can't handle market volatility. And then wrong choices and ultimately burn the money. What is the mindset behind it? Ease and convenience, as I said, but the second is to make up for the lost time. मैं यार 10 साल लेट हो गया हूँ. डॉक्टर भवदीप आहूजा पिछले 5 साल से चिल्ला रहा है इन्वेस्ट कर लो इन्वेस्ट कर लो इन्वेस्ट कर लो. मैंने सुनी नहीं. मैंने सोचा सीखूंगा फिर करूंगा. वो सीखने में मैं सीख नहीं पाया. क्लिनिक में बहुत बिजी हो गया. अब how do I make up for the lost time? We think crypto and stocks are the options for making up the lost time. They are not. They are not. As I said, the differences are quite evident. Less volatile, low risk. Stocks are high volatile, high risk. Low trading cost, high trading cost we discussed earlier. Professional management, individual management, tax saving benefits, no tax exemption on stocks. There are options available in that regard. Also, when you do through mutual funds, the emotional bias is reduced, especially when the SIP is there. वो अपने आप लगा दिया, आपने सोच के लगाया, SIP कट गई. वो धीरे धीरे grow कर रही है. You are seeing it. You are witnessing the growth in your monthly statement that is being delivered into your inbox every month. So अब आपने एक चीज सुनी होगी ना, never put all your eggs in one basket. Whenever you want to create a good healthy thing, you ought to have a balanced thing. You ought to have equity also. You ought to have some portion of debt also. You have to have hybrid also. Some portion of hedging also in the form of gold. And that is where the difference comes. For stocks, if you want to pick stocks across industries, मैं oil sector भी ले लूँ, मैं IT sector भी ले लूँ, वो भी ले लूँ, वो फिर आपके लिए portfolio थोड़ा सा overweight हो जाएगा. It becomes very expensive because आप चाहेंगे कि आप winners के ऊपर bet करें. And when you bet on the winners, that is going to be costly. And comparatively, if you want to do the same through mutual funds, the option is a large cap or a flexi cap, wherein you can have a portion of large cap also, mid cap also, small cap also in a flexi cap, so that the diversification is there of all the companies. So this is the reason they are getting more popular. The stocks are convenient, or at least appear convenient, but they are not as easy as they appear. So with a lesser investment, lesser corpus, we can actually diversify our investments and reduce the risk of investing in fewer stocks. We all know, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That is the reason mutual funds help, because you can have different sectoral funds also investing into that. So the best way to grow your wealth is to stay invested for the long term. Of course, the equity mutual funds have the potential to beat inflation over time. They have been consistently giving returns over 12 to 15%. So I would say SIP in equity mutual funds will still instill the best journey in we can say in your course of financial, instilling your financial discipline in your financial journey, because that is much required. We don't want to take impulsive actions. Sometimes impulsive action आया, गुस्सा चढ़ा, सारा loss हो गया, सारे बेच दो stocks. In some kind of mutual funds like ELSS, you can't do it. They come with a lock-in of 3 years. We need to understand this. Then the second part of my presentation today is the DIY approach, do-it-yourself approach. Fine, especially when you're a starter. There are multiple facets to it. I'll just explain them briefly. So let's see the multiple facets, because when you are having a financial plan, what does that include? You need to have goals for your milestones in life, your risk profiling, your means your risk appetite, your asset allocation, how much you want to do to equity, debt, fixed, whatever you can say portion. Then how periodically you can review it, and of course the tax management part. Tax saving and wealth creation are important facets of a financial plan. It's not always about wealth creation. Wealth creation has to go through tax saving part as well. Of course, there may be other financial goals like a vacation, like you can say buying a car, buying a house. There might be multiple goals apart from our life goals or milestones. Milestones like opening up your big clinic, or you can say expanding your clinic, marrying, having first child into the family, sending the first child to the big school, having a second child in the family. These are life goals which are there. But apart from that, the other financial goals are there, which I just mentioned. So, अब ऐप आ गई है तो सब कुछ DIY कर लो. प्रोजेक्ट एंड प्रमोट ही उसी तरह किया जाता है. ये मार्केट सबका है बॉस. So you do it in that sense. DIY approach seems good, seems convenient. It's not that easy, especially if you are a starter. If you're experienced, I would recommend you to do it. If you are not, you need to weigh the options yourself, because even DIY will demand time and resources. Chahe stocks hai, chahe mutual funds hai. Because sometimes when you have to make financial decisions, they will require time, skill, and effort. If you're a busy dentist or in a full-time job, morning, evening, or having job in the morning and clinic in the evening, it may be consistently difficult to take out time every day to review your plan and keep track. नहीं कर सकते तो delegate कर दो. कुछ portion अपने पास रखो, delegate कर दो, and keep learning till you get a full control of yourself. But don't fully delegate, don't fully DIY. Don't fully DIY. So you need to, again, वही बात है ना, 9 से 3, 3:30 तक awareness पूरी चाहिए. या तो क्लिनिक में हो सकती है या फिर मार्केट में हो सकती है. पल पल में मार्केट बदलती है. So then the time and efforts between financial planning and activities that are more enjoyable and critical, again हो कि यार नहीं रुको, अभी मेरे को जाना नहीं, मेरे को मार्केट ऊपर नीचे जा रही है, मेरे को यहाँ बैठना है, मेरे को देखना है. फैमिली फंक्शन है और आप बैठे हो कंप्यूटर स्क्रीन पे, ऐप के ऊपर लगे हुए हो. So it may be sometimes demotivating कि मैंने अपना सब कुछ मिस किया और यहाँ पे मेरा लॉस भी हो गया. So your hard-earned money will deserve expert handling, either by you or by someone. Of course, you need to develop the skill set also, as I said. But then mutual funds will give you some solutions in that regards, better solutions in that regards. And the risk of emotions, of course, is mitigated a lot. You can do it, especially in the SIP mode. SIP कटनी है तो कटनी है, उसमें emotions का कोई लेना. आज आपका मूड ठीक नहीं है, आप इन्वेस्ट करेंगे नहीं करेंगे उसको कोई मतलब नहीं. SIP में आपका ऑटोमेटिक लगी हुई है तो वो जाएगी जाएगी. हमेशा जब कई बार होते हैं ना, स्पेकुलेशन जो होती है ना, मार्केट रन्स ऑन स्पेकुलेशन. इफ मार्केट्स वर अ गेट रिच क्विक स्कीम तो सारे ट्रेडर्स रिच होते नहीं है. ओनली 1% ऑफ द पीपल मेक मनी इन मार्केट. ओनली 1%। मेरा डेटा नहीं है ये, मेरा डेटा नहीं है ये। सो इफ यू वांट टू बी दोज 1%, फुल टाइम डेंटिस्ट्री छोड़ दो, एटलीस्ट हाफ डे तो छोड़ ही दो। अदरवाइज यू विल रिजल्ट in having mistakes, lot of them, and result in financial losses. खुद बीमार हो जाओ तो डॉक्टर के पास जाना कि नहीं, ये पेट की प्रॉब्लम है तो खुद थोड़ा ना स्टेथो लगा के चेक कर लेंगे और दवाई ले लेंगे। मे बी ओकेजनल रिलीफ इन द मिडल ऑफ द नाइट इफ इट इज देयर, एंड द नेक्स्ट डे स्टिल यू हैव टू गो टू अ डॉक्टर। सिमिलरली फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग, या तो खुद डबल डॉक्टर बन जाओ कि एक डॉक्टर मेरा अपना प्रोफेशन है, एक डॉक्टरी में फाइनेंस में कर लो, और डेलीगेट टू समवन व्हाइल यू आर अपग्रेडिंग योरसेल्फ। यही बोलता हूं मैं, खुद फाइनेंशियल लिटरेट बनो, लेकिन वो दिमाग ये आता ना, पहले मैं सारा सीखूंगा फिर मैं खुद से करूंगा, ना ऐसा दिन आएगा ना ऐसा टाइम आएगा कभी। ऑल हैज टू गो हैंड इन हैंड। अगर मैं ऐसा सोचता तो मैं ये चीजें नहीं कर पाता। दे ऑल वेंट हैंड इन हैंड। माय डैड वाज गाइडिंग मी, ट्रेनिंग मी, माय एजुकेशन इन मेडिको लीगल हेल्प मी अ लॉट in my ethics part and consent part and the MLE part, and of course my marketing, my MBAs in 3 specialities helped me in the management part as such. But they were all going on parallel with my clinic since 2006. All of that education, upgradation, skilling, upskilling, experience 2006 से स्टार्ट हुआ, 2022 में हम लोग 16 साल हो गए मेरे को एजुकेशन से एक्सपीरियंस तक पहुंचते पहुंचते, और इस टाइम में क्लिनिक कभी नहीं छोड़ा है। You have to devote some extra time in that. बट वो सोचे ना मैं कर लूं, पहले खुद सीखूं फिर मैं इन्वेस्ट करूंगा। What you lose out on the most important aspect in finance is the time. फाइनेंस में your time is your most valuable asset. मैनेजमेंट में बोलते हैं टाइम, your focus is your most valuable asset, but in finance your time is your most valuable asset. As I said at the start, ये डॉक्टर भवदीप 5 साल से ब्ला 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 कर रहा है, इसको सुन लो। अब स्टॉक से क्रिप्टो से गेन करते हैं, फिर सीखे फिर हम करेंगे। जैसे होता है ना नोट्स बनाए, जो एक संडे आएगा जिस दिन मैं बैठूंगा अपने सारे व्हाट्सएप मैसेज खोलूंगा, जो 5000 अनरेड हैं मैं पढ़ूंगा। ट्रस्ट मी गाइस, ऐसा संडे कभी जिंदगी में नहीं आता। हम वेट करते रहते हैं, वो संडे के 52 संडे निकल जाते हैं, फिर अगले 52 संडे आ जाते हैं। इंतजार में यूं ही जिंदगी तमाम हुई, सुना होगा मुहावरा आपने। So do it yourself can easily become no one does it. अगर आप नहीं कर सकते हैं तो delegate it to someone. If you can't, delegate to someone, have some control over some portion yourself. It is not a one time activity, ना ये hobby है। Financial planning is part of the bigger goal that I am doing it. मैं हर हफ्ते आके आपका दिमाग क्यों खाता हूं? Because I want every dentist, every healthcare professional to be financially literate. I've not been able to touch even 0.1% of dentists of India. I don't mind. I'm doing my duty diligently. I'll keep on doing it, either through WhatsApp, either through Facebook, through my Zoom sessions, through my lives, whatever way I can do it. Till the time I can do it, I'll keep on doing it. Yes, the intensity may reduce, the numbers may reduce depending upon the audience interest, but it'll still keep on happening unless I lose total interest in you can say giving back to the society, which I hope I never will. So if you are unable to find time for it regularly, clinic में बहुत busy हो, तो do it yourself can quickly turn into no one does it. Then financial goal तो आएंगे ना, milestones तो आएंगे, उनके लिए पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? You need to understand. So ultimately your long-term financial performance can suffer. So if you want कि कंट्रोल भी रहे, कुछ करे, 90% डेलीगेट कर दो, 10% अपने पास कंट्रोल रखो। ग्रेजुअली ग्रेजुएशन करते रहो, अपनी नॉलेज एक्सपीरियंस अपस्किलिंग करते रहो, एज आई हैव डन इट। आई स्टॉप्ड यू कैन से लाइव ट्रेडिंग इन 2018। ट्रेडिंग करता था पहले मैं भी, ऑफ कोर्स विद माय डैड विद मी। 2018 जून आया, आई टुक अ कॉन्शियस डिसीजन दैट अब नहीं होता है, योर चॉइस। अब आप भी उतना ध्यान नहीं देते हो तो मैं नहीं कर पाता हूँ, मैं क्लिनिक में दूँ या आया हूँ, फाइन, नो प्रॉब्लम। फंड्स कंटिन्यू करो, वो करते रहेंगे, नो प्रॉब्लम। सो मिस्टेक्स करेंगे, गलत डिसीजन लेंगे तो आपका पोर्टफोलियो इंपैक्ट होगा, अल्टीमेटली आप ये याद रखिए कि आपको कोई पेंशन मिलने नहीं वाली है, एक्सेप्ट दोज ऑफ यू आर इन गवर्नमेंट जॉब, किसी को पेंशन नहीं मिलने वाली है। तो पैसा कहाँ से आएगा भाई साहब, ये बात बताइए। और बुढ़ापे में और इवन लेट मिडिल एज आई वुड से बच्चों से पैसा मांगना इज द वर्स्ट एवर थिंग दैट कैन हैपन टू एनी इंडिविजुअल। सो मेक योरसेल्फ फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट रादर देन बच्चों से भीख मांगो। मेरे पेरेंट्स ने मुझे यही चीज सिखाई है। माई डैड ऑलवेज सेड दिस थिंग, मैं नहीं चाहूंगा कभी भी मैं तेरे से मुझे पैसे लेने पड़े। ऑफ कोर्स यू आर माई सन, you are my elder son, you have your duty towards your family, but I will never want me or my wife, if even if either one of us is not here in this world, have to beg from you. He didn't say it in a wrong tone, but he said in a right tone, right mindset. What he said was, what he meant was, make yourself financially independent through your own financial literacy. That day will be your own day when your money starts earning yourself. Today, my PPF account earns double the amount of interest than the subscription amount. The subscription amount is 1.5 lakhs. Today, the interest is 3 lakhs. So every year, if I put in 1.5, 4.5 lakhs get compounded. This is the power of compounding. This is the power of patience. This is the power of holding a money for long. My dad did it with me 24/7, 365 for so many years. मैं भी नहीं सीखता था तब, चाहे MBA कर रहा था 2008-9 आई रिमेम्बर। सीख ले, कर ले, MBA कर रहा, अब तो सीख जा। डैड आप हो ना, पापा आप हो ना, आप देख लेना कोई बात। इसे मैं हमेशा नहीं रहूंगा। नहीं डैड आप रहोगे, चिंता ना करो, मैं दुआ करूंगा, आप रहो। Unfortunately, we all know a mishap happened and we lost him in June 2019. Of course, before he left the world, he had already given me a pat on my back almost a year back when we had a debate over how much IT refund he would get. He said 35,000. I said, Dad, no, 70,000. He said, नहीं ये नहीं आएगा, you don't know. Ultimately, it came 35. He said, देखा मैंने बोला था ना तेरे को, तू सीख गया लेकिन you are not that experienced. In 2 months' time, another refund came, 35 plus 3,000 interest, 38,000. Dad, अब बताओ, आ गया? उससे ज्यादा आया इंटरेस्ट डाल के। Then he gave me a pat on my back, said, yes, अब तू सीख गया. And keep sharing with the world till the time your health, your conditions, your situation allows. And I'm fulfilling his dream only. You want to attend or not, you want to watch it or not, it is your choice. It is not my loss in any way, not even 0.001% if you don't watch it. It is not my loss. एक डेंटिस्ट आपको डेंटिस्ट्री के तरीके से फाइनेंस सिखाने वाला शायद पूरे इंडिया में नहीं मिलेगा. But again, we all have priorities in life, and that is where it makes a difference. So the value towards investing either the equity stocks or indirect equity via mutual funds or your DIY approach has to be considered. So the carry home ज्ञान for today. बीमार पड़ते हैं तो डॉक्टर के पास जाते हैं ना, एक आधा दिन ले लो इमरजेंसी के लिए सेल्फ मेडिकेशन, या पड़ोसियों की एडवाइस ले लो, या पड़ोसी डॉक्टर की एडवाइस ले लो, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली डॉक्टर के पास जाना पड़ता है ना. अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो स्पेशलिस्ट के पास ही जाएंगे आप. इसीलिए ठीक है, थोड़ी चोट लगी तो माइनर पट्टी, ब्रूज, बैंडेड पट्टी कर लोगे, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली इन्वेस्टमेंट्स आर नॉट डिफरेंट फ्रॉम इट. इफ यू आर एक्सपीरियंस्ड, you have the emotional maturity, you can consider direct equity. Of course, you need time for that also. Time, effort and skill, तीनों चीजें चाहिए. But नहीं है तो you can say tracking all those hundreds and thousands of companies, उनके financials, उनके cash flow statement, उनके balance sheet, खाला जी का भाड़ा नहीं है भाई. Easy नहीं है, एक बंदा नहीं कर सकता है. जो मार्केट में बैठे हैं वो गलतियां करते हैं तो आप किस खेत की मूली हो. एसेट मैनेजमेंट टीम होती है पूरी जगह, सेक्टोरल एनालिसिस होते हैं, फंड मैनेजर्स होते हैं, वो एक प्रॉपर प्री इन्वेस्टमेंट प्रोसेस फॉलो करते हैं. फॉर अस हु आर नोविसेस, म्यूचुअल फंड्स आर अ लॉट बेटर वे टू इन्वेस्ट इन इक्विटी. मेरे घर में मेरे बच्चों के भी म्यूचुअल फंड है. So this is the power. I want them to have a lot of money when they are major, 18 years, not minors. They are minors right now. Not कि मैं बोलूंगा कि वो जो settle हो जाए 30 साल पे. I want them to have a lot of money when they are even 18 years old. You have to do a lot of planning for it. Unfortunately, I have to do more of it for my whole extended family also. But then monitoring your portfolio and sticking to asset allocation is what is required. नहीं कर सकते तो find a professional and in the meantime keep upskilling, keep graduating. जब तक आप दूसरे फाइनेंस के डॉक्टर ना बन जाओ तब तक 10% 20% अपने कंट्रोल में रखो, कुछ डिसीजन लो छोटे छोटे. As I said, the journey, as mentioned, 2006 से मेरी जर्नी स्टार्ट हुई है. From education to knowledge to power to experience, you also can have it. And मैं आपको शायद पता होगा 6 साल से पढ़ा भी रहा हूँ, तो 16 में से मतलब 6 साल तो पढ़ाने को हो गए हैं ये चीज. So all I can wish you is happy investing. Thank you so much. And this is the moral of the whole story today. Mutual fund and stock market, which you can manage, which you can't manage, we all know. The chart is self-explanatory. 2 बारी पहले मैंने भी दिखाया in different format. So thank you so much for your patient hearing, and I hope you had something to gain from today's session. So I'm running 2 WhatsApp groups. If you want to be a part of them, do send me a message. Currently 6 groups are there, and I plan to limit them to 6 only, because I write in 1 and then forward to 5. I won't be going to the 7th WhatsApp group surely. So this is my YouTube channel. As on 31st March, 440 plus videos are already there. So if you have not already subscribed, all these videos after the session go immediately next day on YouTube. Even if you miss the live, you can watch the same on the YouTube. So this is my social media presence by my name only, Dr. Bhavdeep, and Insta, Clubhouse, Facebook. You can get in touch with me. Please do provide me your valuable feedback. Bookcase and Big Bass both will be welcome in equal measure, either on the Facebook page or in the WhatsApp group or wherever you watch it on YouTube, wherever you wish to watch it, do it. Thank you so much, and I stop my share for questions or acknowledging the visitors on my page where this session is happening. Okay. Hi, Dr. Deepak. Hi, Dr. Rajinder Desai. Hi, Dr. Monali. Hi, Dr. Neha. Dr. Rajinder asks, what about PMS? PMS, portfolio management system. Dr. Rajinder, the ticket size has to be really big, or you have to really delegate 100% where you have absolutely no control. I'm still not much fan of PMS as such, because I would say there is a lot of things which are biased in that PMS part. Sikandar Nawar, get a break, get a life, dude. I'm blocking you after deleting your comment. Better find something else rather than spamming somebody else's life, you can say, page. So I hope, Dr. Rajinder, your question is answered. Hello, Dr. Ramchandra. Hello, Dr. Bhavna. Thank you, Dr. Ramchandra. So, Dr. Rajinder, I have answered your query, I guess. I'm not a big fan of PMS. The ticket size has to be really big, and I generally feel most of the things are biased. I do a lot of FPAs, financial portfolio analysis, for a lot of colleagues in different forms. And what I have seen sometimes, even in fund, is that whenever the incapable you can say fund managers, they manage, किसी का पोर्टफोलियो मैंने देखा तो 12 में से 11 फंड उसके निपॉन के थे. तो मैंने पूछा, भाई साहब, ये आपका पोर्टफोलियो है कि निपॉन का पोर्टफोलियो है? सिमिलरली अनदर पोर्टफोलियो सॉ टाटा के 10 में से 8 टाटा के म्यूचुअल फंड. निपॉन का अगर मैं रेट करूंगा तो स्मॉल कैप मैक्सिमम टॉप 3 में आता है, निपॉन स्मॉल कैप. और कोई फंड इतना टॉप 5 टॉप 10 में नहीं आता निपॉन का, किसी भी कैटेगरी में, किसी भी सेक्टोरल में. और मे बी मैं नहीं अवेयर हूं उसका नॉर्मल कॉमन कैटेगरीज में से. Similarly, Tata Digital India is one of the topmost products. और उसके अलावा बाकी टाटा के म्यूचुअल फंड्स are not even in top 5 or top 10 for anyone. So I'm not a big fan of all these mutual funds. So yes, it has to be scattered. There are so many mutual funds which are giving so much excellent results. So I believe. Hi, Dr. Nanya. Hanji Rajinder ji. Yes, ticket size was 10 lakhs, but now it has gone up to, I think, 50 lakhs or 1 crore for a couple of companies as well. So Perfectly fine if you can delegate some time, some effort. In that, the dependence is totally on that asset management company. I'm not a big fan of that. I want to keep some control in my hand. And that is the reason I encourage financial literacy for everyone, especially the dentists and the doctors and the healthcare professionals. So that's it for today, friends. I hope today's session was a bit of a shaker for you, if not already. So be there for the next session, next Thursday, episode number 15. Before that, Monday, we'll be having episode number 15 on Miraculous Mondays on a topic of practice management or MLE. And see you there. Bye bye. Take care. Have a great weekend and enjoy yourself. And take good care of yourself. Today is World Health Day. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye. Take care. Good night.